Right, in this After Effects lesson, we're going to look at customizing text using the offset feature, along with adding more animators and the range selector. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to open up our text box, and under here, under the text, there's the animate, so we're going to click on that. And let's look at animating a position. So basically, I'm going to move just this text. So let's go ahead and click on the animator down here. And that'll show my range selectors right here and here. So let me move that range selector. I'm going to move that up. So now I've got that text selected. So I'm going to click on this first, on the numbers on the left. I'm clicking and dragging with my left mouse button, and I'm clicking to the left. I'm going to give that a keyframe. Go about a half a second. I'm going to change this to 0. And let's go ahead and add a skew also. So I'm going to click the animate. You can also hit add. We'll do skew. I'm going to make it look like it's flying in. So let's click a keyframe on skew. Have it come in, maybe about here. I'm going to click it closer to it's like it's stopping. I might have it just move a little bit forward, and then maybe a couple more frames, and then click it to 0. Let's see how that looks. Okay, close enough. So it looks like it's moving. All right. So now I want, after this comes in, I'm going to have 2 letters. I'm going to have them scale up and kind of scale through all of the words. So let's go ahead and click. First thing you want to do is usually click on the text, this text here, the text layer, just to make sure it deselects for anything from the animator 1, because we don't want to add anything more to this animator 1. We're creating a new one, so this should be animator 2. So let's do animate, and we want scale. Okay, and now I'm going to twirl down my range selector. And let's click on the animator 2. And once again, you'll see the range selectors show up. I'm going to move that last range selector and move it in between these 2 pieces of text, these 2 letters. Because that's what I want to animate. Now this offset's what's going to scroll through it. If you can see, it kind of scrolls through it. Sometimes it picks 3 letters though. Not sure why that is. It's like it doesn't quite know, maybe because of the size. Okay, so let's add the scale so we can kind of see that. I'm just going to scale that up a little bit. Now I'm going to move that offset. Right here, I'm just clicking and dragging to the left and to the right. Right now, I'm clicking and dragging my left mouse button to the right. So back and forth. So you can see what it's doing. Okay, now I'm going to go back to the very end and then give it a keyframe. And I'm going to go about 4 seconds. I'm trying my work area here. And I'm going to change this to, I want to change this to 100%. So I'm going to click and drag it to the 100% so you can see it go. Okay, so now we've got our keyframes, and now let's do a quick preview. Comes in, and it goes through and scrolls through the text. Pretty good. Well, let's try. I think we can do this better with the scaling. think it'll look a little better if, like, right around in here, I scale it up really large. Look at that, really big. Kind of out of control big. So let's give that a keyframe there. We'll come back down here, and that's too big up on the top. So let's scale that down. And just where it's almost going off this, maybe a little bit off the screen. Yeah, let's make it a little smaller because it's going to be getting bigger. Okay, so it should be getting bigger and bigger and bigger. That's where the 2 gets really big. But now let's go over to the 3. Let's taper that back down and put that down a lot lower. Maybe even below 100%, that way it even gets too small. And then off. Okay, looks good. All right, now we're going to add another. What I want to do is I'm going to add a color change. And I'm just going to add it to the same animator too. That way I don't have to do much animation. So I'm just going to add it right in here, and it should add it right in this box. So let's go ahead and, on our animator 2, we're going to do add, property, fill color, RGB. And it comes down here. You can see I'm under animator 2. And fill color, I'm going to click on the fill color, change, click down here, and then try to get yellow. And I'm going to scrub through there, and you can see it already animated it for me. So that's kind of nice. Now let's say if I want to add another color, if I add another color, I'm going to need to add another animator. So let's say if I want to add a blue to it. So I'm going to close that out. I'm going to click on this text again. That way I'm deselecting anything. I'm going to click on the animate. Now I want to do fill color again, RGB. And let's do blue. Okay. Alright, so let's open our range selector. And once again, we want our offset. Let's click on the animator 3. So now we got our range selectors here. I'm going to click over here. Let's try to get that blue to go maybe up kind of right behind the yellow. So let's see. I'm changing my, I don't want to do the N. Let me Command Z. I want to do the offset. See, that's throwing me off. All right, make sure that offset's working. Okay, good. You can see the blue moving. So I want that blue to go off the screen. All right, and we'll move it right to the yellow, right where we want it. Let me give a keyframe to the offset. So my offset's -16. And I'm going to click through to where it ends. And now the yellow's gone. So now let me move this to 100. So now you can see the blue goes through there. And now you can kind of see the blue trails, follows along. And we can change that blue, if you want to go a little farther ahead, or for that we just want to, like right here, let's say we don't see the blue. So maybe we want to move our keyframe a little bit closer in, make it shorter. You can see it changes down here, so it's getting a little farther away. So now it just moves a little bit behind it. Good. All right, so let's give that a preview, see how that looks. So the text comes in, scrolls through the text. Kind of fun, a little bit of a fun text thing. Now let's just make it really crazy since it already looks pretty crazy. Let's go ahead and add a wiggle effect. Let's add it to our animator 2 because it'll really change that scale. It'll really mess with it. So under animator 2, I'm going to add a selector this time. It's not a property, it's going to be a selector. And let's do a wiggly. You can see I added the wiggly. If I scroll down, you can animate or change, the sizes, and you can play around with these functions that you can change. But we'll kind of see what the default does. The top part didn't do a whole lot. You can kind of see on the bottom part, it kind of made it really kind of wacky. So let's go ahead and give it a preview. It's almost like it had to get started there. But you can kind of see it changes the text and really kind of makes it even more fun. It gives it a fun look. All right, and I think that's the end of this lesson.